How's everyone tonight? Hey, how's everyone? Hey, ooh, scary. Hey, my name's Quinlan. Welcome to Melbourne Musos Facebook Live. How are you today? Numbers. Lots of numbers. Might turn my triggers off just for a second. There you are. Last week was a beloved episode of dedication to Anzac Day and all that. I thought I'd carry on today with numbers, doing different things. Oh, I've got a hair up my schnocker. Hang on 1 second, bloody hell. I might cut that out later in the editing, not the schnocker. Anyway, what happens is last week I was talking about a lot about all the rudimental side of snare drum, all that, Anzac Day, all that sort of biz. And I would like to extrapolate that out to other things tonight. Okay, so what we're going to talk about is I was doing a lot of talking about, you know, when you're marching, you've got your time signatures of 2/4 and 6/8 because they're duple time. I was talking about that last week. So you get that. I think that was the jaunty march I was referring to. A la Glenn Miller. If you have ever watched the Glenn Miller story, he got hauled over the coals for writing a sort of a jazz march when he got drafted into the army in World War II. It's in the movie and all that sort of stuff. And there you go. I always remember that. Let's go. And terrific, you know, I really like it. Cool. Now, what I want to talk about is numbers, as I said. Now, I'm going to talk about roughs, okay? Now, last week I was talking about roughs and rolls and all that business, but now I'm going to put them into action, and then I'm going to extrapolate out to numbers in different ways, right? Now, I haven't done this... I haven't done this in years, okay? I used to do it on a fairly regular basis, but now I just use my phone. But does anyone remember Boggle? Okay, there you go. I'm putting it up to the camera here. But you will see that I have replaced the letter dice, because Boggle was a little word game. You'd shake everything up, and then you put them into the Boggle bits, and you'd come up with all the letters. Then you turn the little thing around. You've got 3 minutes to come up with as many words as you can. So it's all like that. It's sort of like the sister to Scrabble, you know, if we're going to make it gender. Maybe Scrabble's the girl and Boggle's the boy. Anyway, I don't know. That was a shit boom, tease, Chris. Anyway, so what it is when we're dealing with numbers rudimentally, what starts to go on is that it's, like I said, and if you didn't see the show last week, dear audience, maybe it was just an audient again. What happens is that roughs and rolls are completely literal. Okay, so what happens is if you've got a 5-stroke rough, it literally is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Roughs are anything played with single taps. Rolls are anything played with double taps. So a 5-stroke roll will be right, left, right. So there it is there. If it's a rough, and what happens is, I'll do this on the hi-hat. When you're coming up, because I was asked about this just the other day, the thing about with double strokes, it's always like so many people like, double strokes will be the death of me, all that sort of business. But there's 2 gears. You see, so what happens is you've got your wrist stroke. Yeah. Simplest way to work out how fast you can go with your wrist is play on your lap. Play on your, just on your lap there. And because everything is, there's no bounce, you see. When you can start to, it's like a gear ratio there. But what happens is when you're playing, say, on a practice pad, post-COVID, for all my lessons, I've done away with the practice pad. Everything, my practice pad is now my hi-hat for everybody. My neighbours must love me. I love them. And there you go. Come around for a beer. Nice glass of beer. Come and let me play drums for you. Putting myself off. Anyway, what happens is at some point, you'll get the double tap, is what I'm getting at. So what happens is, that's a rough, 3-stroke rough. What happens though, is that you work your exercises. So a great one is the rough and roll pyramid, okay? You have a paradiddle pyramid. Pyramid style playing is where you start small and work out. So it looks like a pyramid when you write it down. Now that kind of thing, you go out like that. It looks like, like a big triangle kind of thing. So they call it like the pyramid playing. So if I just counted time signatures, 1 and 2, okay, that's 2, 4, but I played 3 taps, so it's a 3-stroke rough. So you get 1, 2, 1, 2, you see? If I did 3, 1 and 2, 1, 3, 1 and 2, 1, 3, that's, let's call it 3, 4, and what you've got there is a 5-stroke rough, you see, because I'm dealing with quavers and crotchets. This is in my grade 2 drum set manual. There. And shameless plugging again. But if I went from 2 to 8, it'd be 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There you go. You see, so then you build it up and away you go. You know, so you got 2, 4, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 4, 6, 4, 7, 4, 8, 4. Now, a lot of people say, 8, 4, I've never heard of that. Isn't that just 2 bars of 4? Yes, it is, you're right. But I wanted to keep the phrase together, 8, 4. So you can just count the numbers. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's it. So if I sort of just went 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's what you got. Now, if you're in a metal band and all that, and you want to sort of work up your, of course, do it with your tootsies. I've got my boot cam, hello boot cam down there. And what happens is that I'm a big believer in unison playing, all right? So if you can do it with your hands, do it with your feet, all that sort of stuff. So you get 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's it. That kind of stuff. Darkness enveloping me. Okay, so there's that. There you go. Now, I mentioned boggle before. That's a great exercise, and you just build it up, build it up. Start slow. Don't go fast. I'll just do it with hands. You know, just work it up slowly until it becomes like a little flick. That kind of thing. Something like that anyway. And there you go. Now what starts to happen, you can have a relationship between the roughs and the rolls, because if you're doing a 3-stroke rough, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, if you keep the flow and change the notes to doubles, 6, 7, 8. I shortened it at the end. Something like that anyway. Then you can mix it up and go all random like, you see. So what happens is you get the aforementioned boggle. There it is there. Now, I've gone to the $2 shop and many years ago, like about, oh boy, about, I'd have to talk about 2 decades ago, about 20 years ago. The 20-year-old dice with a 40-year-old boggle board. That's from my youth. Anyway, so what happens? I'm shaking it around. It's completely random. Hey, hello, random. And there you go. And what happens is that I now have that. You're seeing the numbers before I am. So what I've got there is 4, 2, 2, 5, 6, 2, 5, 5, 6, 5, 2, 3, 4, 1, 4, 2. I'm going to put it up there. I hope they don't all fall to bits there. Now I'm going to do it slowly for you, okay? So what happens is there's the time signatures, if you will, okay? Now, maybe some of you might be thinking, what am I going to do about 1? Just a crotchet, okay? So there you go. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 and 2, 1, 2, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. There it is there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Yeah, bit of, and if I just do that, I'm just doing. Then you can do doubles, you see. So it'll be turn them into rolls, the relationship that I just said between roughs and rolls. So you could have 1, 2, 3, 4 becomes 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So on it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Yeah. Then down to boot cam, and we can go from just, we can do that to the double bass drum metal death of oblivion, 2 kick drums there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 5, 6, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Why not? Why not do doubles up here, singles down there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Hey. There you go. Ah, I know you want me to do that. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. I sort of changed my mind halfway through, because what I decided to do was essentially play rolls with my hands, but roughs with my feet. Okay, all right. How schizophrenic is that? So yeah. All right, so there you go. Now, If you don't, I don't even know if you can still buy. I'm sure you can. It's a classic game, is the Boggle thing, and then the dice are the $2 shop business. So there's that. However, there's a limitation. A man's guts to know his limitations. Oh, how many times have I said that on the show? Clint Eastwood, Magnum Force. Hey, man's guts to know. All right. So what happens is that what I did, and that's why I haven't done that with Boggle for years. It's over there on my bookcase. It's almost like a memento, a little bit of a dust catcher. There you go. And what happens is that I changed it to an app on my phone, which is simply like a Tats Lotto app, a number generator, and it tells you, what numbers do you want to go to, and do you want to just have, repeat numbers, or do you just want the numbers by themselves? And that way, I can go up to 7, 8, 9s, and 10s. Just remember one thing. When you're dealing with that, the higher up you want to go, that's fine. But when you're actually doing that, sometimes you might want to just take it a bit slower, because it might be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Lost count. Whatever. But nevertheless, it's a great exercise. There it is. Now we take numbers, because tonight is all about numbers, the numbers game. And what happens is, let's start talking about things like time signatures, but in a different way. Now, what happens is that when people are dealing with time signatures, I talk about this a lot, and especially with my students and things like that, because what will happen is they'll go, I can't get this song. What is it? And you're thinking, oh, well, just about everything's in 4/4 and all that. But no, if you take something like the Beatles, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds and stuff like that, what you have is the verse, okay, is in 3/4. And then you have 4/4. Lucy in the... And it goes into a rock beat for the chorus, you see. And so you've got 3/4. Then one little 4/4 blast from Ringo. Funnily enough, it's sort of like just 1, 2, 3, 4. So he sort of just plays 3 bass drums and all that. I'll do a name check. Dan Slater, you're in a Beatles band, aren't you? You should be able to play that perfectly in your little beautiful Sgt. Pepper's outfit that I've seen you in on Facebook. So anyway, hello. Cheerio. Anyway, there it is. But what happens is that you start to get things like A Day in the Life. Sort of thing. So you might have, I saw the news, or I read the news today, oh boy, about a lucky man who made the great, sort of sad song and all that. You want to hear Jeff Beck's version of that on guitar? Oh boy, have a listen to that. But I'm not talking about Jeff Beck. I'm talking about the middle section where it sort of goes, woke up, got out of bed, dried comb across my head. That's got roving time signatures all the way through. No wonder they never did it live. Ringo. I don't know. Anyway, that's all right. That's all right. Paul will do it. I shouldn't have said that. I love Ringo. I love Ringo's playing. I'm a big defender of him, Meg White, even Lars. There you go. Anyway, there you go. But what it is about time signatures, sorry about that. I went that way as per usual. And what happens is with time signatures, people know about the top number. If it says 5, you count to 5, that kind of thing. And all that. But people get perplexed with the bottom number, right? Now, the top number tells you the type, the top number tells you the number of beats in the bar, okay? So if it says 14, you count to 14. There's different ways to do it, though. I'm coming to that. Audience. But what happens is that what goes on is that when you're dealing with the bottom number tells you the type of note that gets the beat, okay? So if it says 4/4, you can have anything you like in the bar. One, two, three, four. Oh, dance to that, I dare you. Okay. Can you play something I can dance to? Can you dance something I can play to? Oldie but goodie. But what goes on is that the bottom number tells you the type of note. So if you've got something like 8 on the bottom, the number suddenly, or the what you're playing is suddenly related to quavers. The quavers is the beat. So if you've got 6/8, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now a lot of people get confused between 6/8, 6 quavers in the bar, and 3/4, which is also 6 quavers in the bar. However, you have the hemiola from Espanola. Hemiola, something you need a cream for. Oh, I've done that joke so many times. Anyway, so what goes on, moving right along with my old lame jokes, is that what happens is that with 6/8, you have, two groups of 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like that. However, with 3/4, you get 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. So the difference between 3 groups of 2, okay, which is 3/4, and 2 groups of 3, which is 6/8, there's a fundamental difference in the kind of groove you're going to play, okay? And when you try and paste them together, that's the hemiola, okay? It's a very old word, and that's what goes on. It's essentially a 3 against 2 polyrhythm. I have explained that a lot, so I'm not going to keep on rabbiting on. That's just my starting point. So what happens is when you're getting into more advanced time signatures, sometimes just the time signature isn't enough. What you need is the subdivision of numbers, because that's tonight's show, numbers, okay? So if I'm going to deal with, let me see, let's talk about 5, okay? Now, of course, when you're just sort of going, that's Take 5 by Dave Brubeck, right? And it's essentially 3/4 and 2/4 combined. So rather than just going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're actually going more like 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 1. Also living in the past with dear Jethro Tull. Tragic I am. There you go. And that's what goes on. However, what happens is if you take something like a 5/8, which Frank Zappa loves, he loves 2 and 3 with that, and he loves 5/8. Go off and listen to Echidna's Arf off of the Roxy and Elsewhere album that I love and adore, one of my favourite Zappa albums. And the ending is all... that kind of thing there. Right, left, left is what I'm doing. I asked Chad Wackerman about that when he used to live in Sydney and when I was going up to Sydney a fair bit back in the day, and doing all my little things, you know, playing and examining and everything else with the books and everything, filming for the show, all that back in the day. And he always said, and he also did it, he was quite, you know, everyone sort of asked him about stickings, you know, how do you play with Frank Zappa music? And he was always big on, I just did right, left. So, but he would also say, I usually did right, left, right. But I still like it. You know? Like that, you see, 5/8, but you could morph that into 5/16 if you wanted to. Now what happens is one of the things that Lisa Kelly and I used to do when we were doing all the little, it's a little bit like White Stripes meets Beefheart, that kind of thing, because it was just guitar and drums, and we backed up the wonderful Petulant Frenzy, the Sydney Zappa band. Les Rankin, I don't know if you're watching the show, but bless you for having that band together for so long. And what it is we used to do a tune called 555, which is 5-8, 5-8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5-8, 5-8, 5-4. Danga, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hippopotamus, hippopotamus, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. However, I've explained that on the show as well, and I did that for the big Frank Zappa episode, Zappa Claus, during Zappa Dan, during the December, which is all things Zappa. He was sadly passed away on the 4th of December, but his birthday was on the 21st, so that whole in between, all Zappa fans around the world play nothing but Frank Zappa. Hey, there you go. And 555 is mixing the bottom number of the time signature. That's my point. It was a long bow to get there, but I hope you followed me. So what happens, this is not new. This is hundreds, if not a millennia old. And what happens is a beautiful Indian rhythm that is just a 5-8, then a 5-4. However, they call it a 7.5 matra. Okay, there it is there. And what that is 7.5. It's literally numbers when you're getting into half. There's a great composer, trumpet player, that used to get right into that, and I really liked him back in the day when I was an avant-garde jazz shitbag, starving jazz musician, all that stuff. House jams everywhere. We were busy, never got paid, but we were busy. Played the real book. For those of you, I had a wonderful conversation last weekend about the real book. Do you remember the days of the real book? You get by it. You know, it's totally illegal, you know, that sort of thing. There it is there, out the back of cars, $30, mate. Every jazz muso in the world needs the real book. And I was in a band with a couple of fellow shitbags who shall not remain nameless. And we used to just, even as the drummer, I'd flick, we'd just go and just play it from A to Z, right? That kind of thing. And for me, a lot of people would think, well, you're a drummer, why do you need music? And, you know, I shrink a little. I fade away a little when I get asked those kinds of questions. You know, another part of my brain leaves my body. Oh, my God, here we go again. And what it is, I pick up the accents and I get to know the form of the song. You see, jazz tunes are so often standard song, A, B, A, 32-bar song. But many are not. And so what you do is you're looking at the form and the notes so you know when you're putting them in. All that stuff, and there you go. And because if you're just flying blind, I don't read, all that sort of stuff. I usually lose a little bit, you know, like, oh God, Chris is on his reading high horse again. But it's important, especially when you're playing any kind of prog metal and stuff like that. And you need to know what chords you're playing. And if you're going to do an arrangement of something, you know, that kind of thing, guitarist, get out of the way of the keyboard player, you know, sort of thing. Do an on-the-spot arrangement, you know. I call that the coffee lounge lessons when I'm doing it with my guitar students. We actually sit down and just go through lead sheets, which is just the one line, you know, with the chords above and all that sort of stuff, which is the real book. And I've got Beatles song, 101, all the Busker books, 101 Beatles songs, 101 country songs, special occasion songs. I use that at Christmas for the Christmas show because it's got all the Christmas songs all in a row. And I was teaching out of that like crazy because everybody was coming in. Can I learn a couple of Christmas songs? Because I'm going to get, you know, I said, you're going to get asked to play Jingle Bells, you know, that sort of thing. And you've got to, you know, open it up, read it. Jingle bells, Batman smells, Robin flew away. Hey. There you go, there's Jingle Bells. And there you go. But what I'm talking about is the 7.5 matra. I'm getting back to that. 7.5, double it, 15. Okay, so if you've got hippopotamus, 5-8. And if you're talking about 5-4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, if you're counting like quavers, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and there's 10 quavers. 10 plus 5 is 15. Halve that, 7.5. Okay? It's not rocket science. People go, oh, I'll never need that. Yes, you will. If you like Frank Zappa, you will. Take a take it from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the bottom. I don't know what that was. Bit of a rush to the head. Now I'm going to put my triggers on now. And I'm going to wrap the show up. I'm only 6 minutes over. I do 25 minutes for 31. You know, the other 5 minutes. 25 minutes is the TV half hour because you've got 5 minutes for ads. So I've got to take out 6 minutes later. I'll take out all the lame jokes is what I'm going to take out. I'm going to play a little bit now with my triggers. The choir I've got there is a little variation on the Shostakovich notes. Which are D, E flat, C, There you go. Hey! Ooh! Dramatic. There you go. Okay, so that is numbers. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got something out. Get out your pens and papers and scribble, scribble, scribble. All that sort of stuff. That isn't free. That is a gift, okay? That is a gift to you out there for supporting Channel 31 in its dire need. Who knows what's going to happen at the end of the financial year. Every year, sort of thing. Never had to do it. Last 7 years, every year, bloody hell, kind of thing. So what happens is that what you've got is something that I love doing. I love doing this. I get fascinated. Oh my Lord, I've got to get a life one day. Because I go, if I can do that's why I'll never get a gig again. Are you gigging, mate? Are you gigging? No, I'm playing in 15, mate. Never gig again. But are you gigging? Are you really gigging, mate? Nah, not gigging. You gotta have fun with it. So I'm gonna love and leave you there, and I hope you got something out of tonight. There are so many beautiful rhythms in the world. Break out of the 4/4 like that, and I don't know, because you're gonna get as soon as you do, go off and listen to A Day in the Life by the Beatles. Woke up, got out of bed, da da da. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. It started with Stravinsky, really, in the Western music, because he wanted something that was timeless. So what he put in with Les Sacres du Printemps, the rites of spring. Oh, my Lord, have to study that for year 12. All that sort of stuff. And what it was just roving time signatures. And I implore you to go to the London Symphony Orchestra or the London Philharmonic, one of them. But on their Facebook page, they actually have the dramatic bits. Well, that whole piece is dramatic, but you've got to try and clap along, and it's rolling. All those beautiful little black dots are rolling, and you're sitting there going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Imagine being you've got the big 22-inch bloody concert cymbals, and you're ready for the cymbal crash, and you go, oh my God, it's my big moment. Everyone's looking at you. You're up the back. You're in the suit. You're in the penguin suit, the old thing, and you're waiting, and you go, 1, 2, 1, 2, it's coming, it's soon. Shit, I missed it. I did that once. I've gone, oh, bugger. What the bloody hell happened there, mate? I'm so sorry, Mr. Conductor. Dear sorry. I'm very sorry, Ronnie. National Championships, Monash University, 1990. Shit. Attack of a nerve. Anyway, I love and leave you there. I'm going off to do the editing. I'm going off to sip a little bit of editing cordial. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to implore you to go and study something like beautiful Indian rhythms. And this is also a dedication. I think you could get my sneaky dedication and stuff like that. And I have many wonderful Indian students here, and there's nothing but joy and all that. So there's all that. And also I also have quite a few students from Myanmar, and they still call it Burma. And big week, tragic week for them. And so I dedicate this show to them and their music, and I'm... yeah, that's for them, okay? And there it is for you, okay? So that's the kind of way we roll. And so I'm going to love and leave you here, and give me a little while. It won't be up tonight, it'll be up tomorrow. And then it'll be on beloved Channel 31 next Wednesday at 10 p.m. And I shall see you then. And... all of that. There you go. All right, here we go. Take care, hey? Oh.